the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Division.
Absolutely
Are they
not.
going to finish number one in the NFC? Is Dak going to have the bounce back year MVP level Dak? Is Deuce Vaughn just going to be the most fun running back in the NFL this year because the man is impossible to be seen in between the tackles?
Possibly. They exorcised the Ezekiel Elliott demon and sent him to, well, not sent him, but he is gone now. And Vaughn looks really cool, doesn't it? That was
but
fun
you know what's
to watch
weird?
him bounce around.
For the college guys, like that's not what it looked like in college. Like it makes you appreciate how much bigger NFL guys are because Deuce was small, but he's small in the NFL. Like he looks tiny, like a middle schooler running through the tackles. It's different with NFL bodies than college bodies week in, week out. Deuce is something else.
Small in human life. That man is
I've got bad news to you guys, for you college football guys. College football doesn't matter.
Oh, what?
I mean, you could like it because it's your team and you live in the town and you cheer about it, but like college football.
What? I don't even know.
If we're talking the NFL, like
we are talking the NFL.
Where do you think all of the NFL players came from?
Right, I know, but like what they do in college is not just a 1-for-1 indication of what they'll do in the NFL.
Who's saying that right now?
He was just saying that he looked smaller.
Well, I'm saying he looked smaller.
Chase was like, well, he didn't do that in college.
I'm saying he didn't look like that in college.
Well, you said
like
do that.
physically look like that. Like
I know, but
he looked. I'm saying like he physically, like when he's running between the tackles at Kansas State against Kansas, it looks different running through the Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
He didn't do that, so I was like,
yeah, I meant
he did do that.
Yeah, he was a bowling ball and he was fun.
He was doing everything that he did like on the field the other day.
Less about that.
The Cowboys fans are going to hate that we started this whole conversation.
I apologize for moving that the wrong direction. I really just love that the national media is starting to really talk about the fact that the Cowboys are not going to be as good this year. They have Mike McCarthy calling plays.
Like, it might not matter.
It does matter. And you know what? The national media is starting to talk about it, and it makes me really happy.
Zach Martin got signed. They reworked his deal. Zeke's out. Good. Offensive line's great. The wide receiver room is great.
A little bit of a stretch about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Yes, Zach Martin is back, but they're still
Zach Martin was their best offensive player last year. So I understand the importance of that. But
do you really think they're not going to be a very good football team this year?
No, it's not that I don't think that they'll be a very good. What I think is they are going to severely underperform from the never-ending, all-encompassing Dallas Cowboys expectations. Chase, you said they were going to win the NFC.
I said they were going to be no. I said they were going to lead. They were going to be the number one regular season NFC team. I think they will go into the postseason.
That means you win the NFC in the regular season.
Oh yeah, I mean that. I'm not saying they're my Super Bowl pick. I'm saying they're going to win.
One more time, guys. He's like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm saying they're not my Super Bowl pick. Hold on. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but I do think they're going to be the number one seed.
Winning the NFC and being the number one seed are two very different things.
Yes.
So I'm Team Chase here.
Thank you.
Winning the NFC means 13 games minimum.
I mean, that's possible. That's doable. Dak could easily be the best quarterback in the division this year.
Do you understand the quantum leap you have to take to watch last year and go, the offensive play calling will be worse this year? I don't care what you say. You can say that it's going to be worse. Mike McCarthy is not like.
Is it going to be
He had
worse,
prime
though?
Aaron Rodgers.
Is it going to be worse?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think it's going to be worse. I think they will be.
If Vaughn is the next coming of Darren Sproles, maybe we can rediscuss this. But I'm just saying your massive expectations for the Cowboys are going to disappoint you.
Evan, who was number 2 last year in defensive DVOA behind the 49ers?
The Cowboys. Cowboys are going to have a great defense. I'm not talking about their defense.
They were 13th in offensive DVOA last year with a banged up roster.
Do you want to know why the Dallas Cowboys were so productive on defense?
I mean,
because Dak Prescott kept throwing the ball to the other team. More opportunities to flourish.
I don't think so. I think it was. I think they're just good.
Literally not up for debate.
Dan Quinn's a great DC. That defense is going to be great again.
I told you Dan Quinn would be a good DC before he signed. I still wanted the Niners to have signed him, but regardless, Dak is not getting younger. I'm not saying he's going to be a terrible quarterback this year, but I don't think his interception problem is just going to magically get better with the beautiful play calling from Mike McCarthy.
I'm going to defend Dak Prescott real quick. Allow me to defend.
Okay, you do it before I do because I have some.
Everybody wants to talk about the interception problem of Dak Prescott. He has had literally last year was his 1 year of ever having any sort of major interception problem. You look at the year, you went 37-10, I believe, the year before last. Like, he has been fine. He had one. I think every quarterback's allowed to have a year where they turn the ball over a little bit more, especially for a guy like
I don't
Dak,
think every quarterback has a year where they lead the NFL.
It was 16 picks. It's not like it was 30. Like, let's slow it down a little bit. You can lead the league in picks. That's fine, out of context. But let's say somebody leads the league in interceptions 1 year and it's 13. Who gives a shit? Like, it's 16 picks. Yes, it needs to come down, but it could have been much worse. So 1 year of leading the NFL in interceptions,
you guys,
16 does not bother me.
He has 4 seasons of over 10 interceptions. You act like this is like a
so
one-off.
Many quarterbacks,
and we're not calling many quarterbacks elite. Let's get back to the
quarterbacks will finish the season.
Let's get back to the discussion at hand. Do the Dallas Cowboys need Dak Prescott to succeed in this offense to win the NFC?
Well, yeah.
I don't think that he will because of Mike McCarthy's play calling and his tiny bit of regression and still being a really good quarterback. I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs. They'll still be a good football team. They'll still win a lot of games. They're not winning the NFC.
I don't think they're going to win the NFC.
But they're not even going to win their own division. The Eagles will.
The people penciling in the Eagles, man. I don't know. I'm always wary of the Super Bowl loser regression anyway. And then some injuries, a Jalen Hurts slight regression. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Dak has a better year than Jalen Hurts. I think the weapons are right there for Dak to have a better year. Right? Like, that wouldn't be crazy.
Dak is the best quarterback in the division.
Oh, there we go, JP. JP is there we go. I feel like that's a controversial take now. I think most people have just moved on to Jalen after 1 year.
Obviously, Dak is a very good quarterback, and Jalen Hurts still has some growing to do. But Jalen's going to be very productive with his legs.
Yes, and while I think that makes the gap closer between him and Dak had, and I think a lot of people don't see this when they saw the interceptions. And this is why I think the offense will probably be a little bit better with Mike McCarthy than with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore asked Dak to create everything for that offense. The offense was basically just 6-yard hitch routes and, hey, CeeDee Lamb, go do something. Or, hey, Tony Pollard, go do something cool. If that doesn't work, then hey, Dak, just be a robot and completely change the play. Now, I think the offense is a bit more explosive. Like we said, you added Deuce Vaughn, who's probably going to be the second running back. He's going to come on in pass situations. That should add some explosiveness. They're working with Kevontae Turpin in the offense more. He is arguably one of the most explosive players on the team. You go and trade for Brandon Cooks, which is exactly what you needed in terms of explosiveness. I think the Cowboys' offense is going to be good. Yes. Do I think they're going to win the division? No. I think there's a path. I think there's a path to most of the teams. I think there's a path to them win the division. There's a path to them win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to happen, but the Cowboys are probably going to be very good. They're going to be a very good team.
Their defense will be very good. There is no doubt about that in my mind.
They're not going to win a division, but they will probably be the first wild card team.
I'm not worried.
But would it surprise you if they beat out the Eagles to win this division this year?
No, because they almost did last year.
Yeah.
They almost did last year
too. The Giants haven't beaten Dak in almost 7 years.
I also think the Giants. I think the Giants are going to get a little bit better this year too, and make that division harder.
Oh, I think the Giants are going to be bad.
I really like Giants talk. I am so convinced
it's the coach.
This division. I think they're a 5-6 win team.
I think
Daniel Jones
6-11, 7-2
this year.
I think they are going to be knocking on the door of the playoffs again.
It's the coach, man. DeBoer's a real
coach.
coach.
I think they'll be relevant. I don't think they're going to be like top 5 pick, but they're going to be like 7-10 disappointing.
Not only did they.
Well, let's get into it. Let's transition to the Giants here. This is a good transition. The Giants, JP. What are the Giants going to be this year?
The Giants are going to be a playoff team. To me, I think they
will
be
so 3 coming